this anatomy and this during my journey into Sheffield. Let's just dive into it, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be basically giving you guys my recommendation on certain textbooks you need to survive with if you're going to be studying anatomy. And yeah, I'll be explaining certain things for you, but you always need something to reference back to. And this anatomy and these textbooks will be your go-to. Should be your go-to. Now, disclaimer: none of these publishers contacted me for any adverts, none whatsoever. So basically, these are just textbooks that helped me during my journey into Sheffield. Let's just dive into it, guys. I'm just so excited to share my textbook collection with you guys. So now, for the clinical aspect of anatomy, because anatomy has a clinical aspect where you apply everything you've learned in anatomy in the real world. So now, this particular textbook I want to show you guys, it has the clinical aspect of anatomy. There are a lot of clinical correlates in this textbook, and the reason why this textbook is really nice is that they start from the very beginning of anatomy, like from anatomical planes, the terminologies, and the different aspects of anatomy. There's embryology in this textbook too, and what else? There's just a lot in this textbook. So a standard textbook that has everything about anatomy and focuses mainly on the clinical aspect of anatomy is this textbook. It's called Clinically Oriented Anatomy. Clinically oriented for a reason. So this textbook should be your go-to when it comes to sourcing for clinical correlates or looking for clinical correlates. This should be your go-to. And why I love this textbook is user-friendly. I don't even know if that's the right word to say, but yeah, it's user-friendly. You can easily assimilate. It's straight to the point and it's not boring. It's not too bulky. In as much as the book is big, forget the size of the book. Get to know what's inside. Get to know the contents of this book. This book is really good and you can easily understand it. That's why I love this textbook. So, Clinically Oriented Anatomy by Kent Moore. So this is Kent Moore, Clinically Oriented Anatomy. They have other clinically oriented anatomy, so, but this one by Kent Moore. Now, we have the Atlas of Anatomy. So basically, this one has images of every part of the body. It's very useful when you're dissecting too. In as much as we have a dissecting manual, I'll get to that. But the Atlas of Anatomy is also important. As you're dissecting, I think this should be the next textbook close to your dissection table because it helps you identify structures that you cannot really see. For example, during my time when we're dissecting, because of the state of the cadavers, there are some structures we cannot really identify properly. So if you're dissecting and your Atlas of Human Anatomy is close to your table, you can easily identify what this is or what that is. So I'll just open it a bit so we can see some things in it. So, okay, this is how it looks inside. It gives you the picture, like a pictorial knowledge of whatever you're doing, whatever you're dissecting. Also, it starts from the basics too. It covers all aspects. There's head and neck. God, this thing is so blurry. See it this way. Yeah, that's all for Atlas of Anatomy. Now for dissection, I would recommend Cunningham's. Cunningham's comes in 3 volumes. There's volume 1, there's volume 2, and there's volume 3. They are sold together. I don't know if they sell them if they sell them individually, but usually they sell them in their pairs. So now basically this is a guide on how to dissect, where to dissect from, like where to make your incisions from. Then so the volume 1, 2, and 3 is divided like the head and neck, upper and lower limb, then thorax and abdomen. Also the neck too, the brain, everything about the head. So why I recommend Cunningham's is that they are examples. They give you pictures on what you would see when you make an incision. So if your incision is wrong, so basically you will not see what your book is showing you. So it guides you. For example, see, this is the neck. It helps you, like for instance, see this part here. When you open it, how you flex it like that, how you leave it open after the dissection. So this is the dissection, the skin and all that. I think this is the sternocleidomastoid, if I'm not mistaken, and then other structures in the neck. So basically this is a user-friendly manual. It's very understandable for me, and I would recommend it for those that want to start dissecting. I mean, your school might have the one they want you to use, but personally Cunningham's is the best dissection manual I know. Now we have questions and answers in anatomy for people like myself, that don't like bulky work. I just like straight to the point. Give me important bullet points, and that's it. It's your guide to answering anatomical questions. So now basically these questions and answers in anatomy, it helps you in explaining structures of the body. For example, now they will say write about the anterior compartment of the thigh, write about the superficial fascia, write an essay about the brachial plexus. This book has basically the main questions. For example, now there are some structures in the body that in every exam you write, in every anatomy exam you write, it must surely be there. For example, brachial plexus. So now this book they've helped you to solve these questions, and they've answered it in the most summarized and straightforward way. I'm not saying you should do copy and paste from here, don't cram everything in this Bimisola. No, I'm just saying it will give you a guide to teach you how to answer anatomical questions. Now, another textbook that I really like is the BD Charisha, Human Anatomy. Now BD Charisha comes in 4 volumes. They have the neuroanatomy, which is a separate one, then the head and neck, the upper and the lower limbs, and so guys, this BD Charisha is also a dissection manual, but it has both dissection and clinical aspects of anatomy, clinical applications of anatomy too. But the reason why I like this Charisha is that in all volumes of the Charisha there's a CD plate, like a copy of the textbook. You can put it on your system and save textbooks directly to your system, and I love it, the e-copy of it. And then in all the textbooks there are different charts. For this one now, this is a chart of the veins of the human body. In all volumes of this textbook there are different charts, different helpful charts. This is one, and this is another chart. the brain, neuroanatomy, another chart of it. All of them have CDs and different charts in all 4 volumes of this Charisha textbook, and I would recommend them anytime, any day. So guys, that's it for textbook. So these are basically the textbook I have, and I'm hoping to get more. When I get more, I'll still show you guys. And basically, I feel any gifts anybody wants to give me now, just give me an anatomy textbook and I'll review it and I'll check if it's good, and I'll still come back here and I'll show you guys. So thanks for seeing my textbook collections, and I hope one of these textbooks will be useful to you in your anatomy journey. Thank you. And yeah, for those of you that would want me to answer some questions about anatomy, you can put those questions in the description box. Probably you want me to describe a structure in the body or something, just put it down and I would do that. I mean, why am I here? I'm here so that anatomy will look less complicated for you guys. I want everybody to understand anatomy very well, and for those who would fall in love with anatomy like I've done, like I'm very, very, very much in love with anatomy, and I would like every other person to actually love anatomy, because anatomy is not that hard. Basically, I think when I started it was hard to me, but as time went by, I noticed that, or I learned that anatomy is not hard if you have the right approach to it. So thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.